everybody. Hans Vodder here at New Life Church in Port Townsend, Washington, with another weekly reading from An Enduring Embrace, Experiencing the Love at the Heart of Prayer by Juanita Ryan. This week's devotional is entitled Practicing Examine as Prayer, and its accompanying scripture verse is Psalm 4:4, which reads as follows: In your anger, do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. Examine is the practice of prayerful reflection at the end of the day. It is the practice of lying on our beds and silently searching our hearts. Examine is a practice that can help us identify where we are receiving God's help and where we are needing to ask for God's help. Days tend to blur into each other. Moments of grace and grief are often not given the time of reflection they need. Examine is a form of prayer that involves stopping for a few moments before we end a day to pick up the shells that washed ashore during the day so that we can pay attention to them and receive the treasures they hold. The purpose of the prayer of examine is to help us to grow in both self-awareness and in the awareness of God's presence with us each day. This prayer helps us to look for God with us in the joys and the struggles of everyday life. St. Ignatius wrote about the prayer of examine in the Spiritual Exercises. He saw the examine as a prayer that could be used by God to reveal the direction our lives were meant to take, even as it reveals on a daily basis the presence of God in the ordinary realities of life. Others have offered a simple structure for this kind of prayer. In their book, Sleeping with Bread, Holding What Gives You Life, authors Dennis, Sheila, and Matthew Lynn suggest that we ask and answer the questions, for what moment today am I most grateful? And for what moment today am I least grateful? And they offer many versions of these two questions. One might ask, when did I feel most alive today? Or, when did I most feel life draining out of me? Or, what was today's high point, and what was today's low point? When practiced on a daily basis, examining the things we are most grateful for each day can open our eyes and hearts to the many gifts that God gives us each day. And the practice of examining the things that we experience as the most distressing each day can give us new wisdom and insight about things we need to let go of or change. The practice of examine is something that parents can do with their children as they tuck them into bed. In making time for this kind of mutual sharing, the parent can offer the child support and affirmation for life's daily challenges and blessings. It is also something that spouses or friends can do together on a daily or weekly basis. This way of using the prayer of examine can build a deeper intimacy, allowing us to share our grief and our joy with each other. The psalmist instructs us, when you are on your beds, be still and search your hearts. In practicing the prayer of examine, our hearts are opened in new ways to God's presence, help, and guidance. Lord, at the end of this day, please quiet us. Help us to be still. Bring to our minds and hearts the moments when we felt most grateful or connected to life, and the moments when we felt most distressed or drained of life. Remind us of what touched our hearts and what distressed us. Help us as we reflect on these moments. Show us whatever you wish to show us about ourselves and about you. Thank you. Ms. Ryan concludes the devotional with suggestions for further meditation. She writes that one could choose the questions you want to ask at the end of the day. For what moment today am I most grateful? And for what moment today am I least grateful? Or when did I feel most alive today? And when did I most feel life draining out of me today? Or what was today's high point and today's low point? You might want to light a candle, she further adds, or ask God to guide you as you reflect in this way about your day. You may want to keep a journal of your nightly examine or share your reflections with someone close to you. And in conclusion, I guess I would just pray that God would give us guidance as we go about our daily routines, and that He would show us wisdom, and that we would be open to receiving the wisdom that He has for us as we think about our days and the weekly cycles of our life. So, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week. God bless.